So hopefully you can hear me okay. We're in Gran Canaria and this is an area called Dunas de Maspalomas, which is basically translated to sand dunes of Maspalomas, and it's actually a national park. We're just walking from the town of Meloneras, which is just there where that lighthouse is. We're heading this way up across these dunes and towards Maspalomas itself, Playa del Ingles. I don't know how far this is, but we're going to have a look. We're basically just following this marked out path with these wooden stumps, and it just leads us through the dunes, and I would imagine onto the next town. And these little clearings here where you've got, just looks like little desert oasis with little paths going everywhere. And back there on the beach we were going past some rocks, and we did see some quite medium-sized lizards. They looked like very small iguanas. I'm not sure what they were. I'm going to Google it. If I can find some more, I'll try and get them on video. Yeah, it's a fascinating place. Here we go. We're going to head up one of these dunes and see what sort of view we can get from the top. It's hard work on this sand. Wow, it must be the finest sand I've ever walked on. It's like powder. Okay, so there we go. What basically looks like an extension of the Sahara Desert on Gran Canaria. The other Canary Islands apparently have black sand, but we found out before we came here that the sand at Gran Canaria is much finer, much more what you would expect on a beach. So the golden fine sand. It's not wrong. Huge beach. Loads of dunes, you can see from as far as the eye can see. That parachute in the distance, there's still people on the dunes up there. So we're heading that way. So which way do we need to go? Okay. I guess we're going to head to Playa Maspalomas this way. There's lots of directions you can go in. It's a really big dune here, and I'm in two minds whether to head up it. Nah, it's so hot, and that would just take a lot of energy to get up that. So I'm gonna walk around it. We'll see what's on the other side when we get round. This is Maspalomas beach. I think we're halfway between the two towns, actually, roughly. So we've still got a little bit to go to get. Yeah, it just keeps going round past the dunes. This is as close as I will ever get to seeing a desert. Being from the UK, obviously we have sand dunes, but not on this scale. It's a crazy place. You see through the gap there, all you see is dunes. Dunes just layering one after the other. So we've come down by the sea now to cool off. Still see the dunes just here on the left, all the way along. And yeah, it's a much nicer temperature here. In the middle of the dunes there, it's really hot because it's protected from the wind. So it's nice to dip our feet in while we walk along. You can see here that it's got some of the black volcanic sand in between the finer gold sand. Yeah, we're back in the dunes again and heading across to the other side still to Playa del Ingles, and we're following signs to a viewpoint where hopefully we can get a view of the whole area. Maybe we can climb up a dune. There must be a specific dune that's kind of higher than the rest that we can get up onto, and it'll give us a good focal point for the whole national park. And you can probably see on camera the sun's out again. It might have looked a bit overcast earlier, but these clouds have gone, the sun's back out, and the heat is it's relentless, I think. So it's going to be a difficult walk, but when we get to the other side we'll jump in the sea and cool off, and then find a beach bar to get a cold drink. Just show you this path here because it's actually a very flat concrete path that we're on. It's covered in a loose sand, and it looks like they've done the best to make it easy for people to get from one side to the other, because if you were walking on the powder all the time across these things, it'd just be impossible. I mean, you can see footprints where people have gone up, but I wouldn't want to do this just crossing the dune. So this is actually a welcome addition that they've done, and it really doesn't detract from how natural it is. It's just this little bit through the middle, but very glad of it. So don't be put off by doing this walk, because it's not all hard. It's just the heat that makes it hard. Underfoot it's actually okay in most points. Yeah. Unfortunately we're back on the powder and it's really tough going, really tough underfoot. We've just come up a bit of a dune and we're just coming down the other side of it. It's still following this marked pathway with the wooden posts. It seems to go, when it goes flat, as you can see there, it looks, the sand is a slightly different colour in that dip, and I think there's just a little bit of moisture underneath, and it just makes it a lot easier to walk on. But you can see there as well in this dip, but generally it's powdery. Quick 360. That's where we've come from, just up there on the left. There we go. Sand, palm trees, and very low level plants. Very inhospitable, apart from the giant hotel in the distance. We're just coming up to the last little bit here, so just reached this last little crossroads, and you can see here the all the walks. So we've come from the on the left sign there, you see where it says Playa de Maspalomas. We came from that side. I can just see the lighthouse. It's kind of in the middle of the shot, sticking up, the brown structure. Where we started this morning, our hotel is back across this path here, and that's the that takes you to the Park Tony Gallardo. That's a park just down the road from our hotel, so we could have come in from that way, but we wanted to walk along the beach, and we're then heading up to the right up this hill here to the viewpoint, and you can see some people on the top of this dune, and providing this sand is not too tough to walk on, I think we're going to try and head up on there, and you can see the scenery again. I mean, it just dunes for miles. If you didn't know the sea was there, you would think you're in the Sahara Desert, and it just seems to be an extension of that. Of course, we're not that far from North Africa. Canary Islands, the nearest land to the Canary Islands directly east is Morocco, and then just south of Morocco is that area called Western Sahara, and it just seems to be a little extension of that type of landscape. Fascinating place, absolutely insane. Never been anywhere like this before. I have to say, this is the hottest place I've ever been. If you're going to come to the Canary Islands, I've not been to the other ones, but specifically Gran Canaria, I can honestly say, be prepared for it to be very, very hot. If you're from Northern Europe, bring a lot of sun cream. You're going to need it. And where you can, just find some shade. We've walked probably 3k today in the heat, so for the rest of the day we're going to find a cool spot and just relax before we head back. And we're going to head back along the main roads, footpaths, and not back through the dunes. There we go. Dunas, Maspalomas. Awesome. We're in the viewpoint. I'm just going to do a quick 180 because you can just see the sea in the distance there. And you just follow it along, and there's just dunes everywhere, all the way along, and there's absolutely no one in sight. All the way back to the lighthouse on the right of the picture there. So that's Maspalomas Beach straight ahead of us, and then round to the left to the east side, Playa del Ingles. What a place.